coffee stain on your shirt, the way you laughed when I spilled mine first. You said some things just leave their mark, and I believed you in the dark. We were two strangers on a midnight train, talking about dreams, forgetting the rain. You looked at me and I looked at you, and for a moment the world was new. But somewhere between that night and day, the colors in your eyes began to change. You started seeing what they wanted you to see, and the girl who loved you wasn't me. You saw me in different colors, but I was always just one shade. The color of my skin became the cover for the price we paid. You said love was blind, remember? But now I see you were the one afraid. You saw me in different colors, while I only saw love's face. Your mother's voice grew louder than my name. Your father's silence spoke of shame, and I watched you slowly disappear into the echoes of their fear. I tried to paint myself in shades they'd accept, took all my history and carefully kept it locked away so you could breathe. Love like that was never meant to be. Somewhere between your heart and theirs, I became a burden, not a prey. Started seeing what they wanted you to see, and the girl who loved you wasn't me. You saw me in different colors, but I was always just one shade. The color of my skin became the cover for the price we paid. You said love was blind, remember? And now I see you were the one afraid. You saw me in different colors, while I only saw love's face. Oh, tell me, when you close your eyes at night, do you still see me in that light? Before they told you who to love, before you pushed me far above the line they drew so long ago, the line I didn't want to know. You saw me in different colors, but darling, I was always just one thing. Someone who loved you like no other, even when you couldn't hear her sing. So go and find your monochrome, a life that fits inside their home. But I'll be here in all my shades. I'm ashamed of what God made. Different colors. I was always just one color. Love. Sunday dinner, porcelain plates. Her smile is warm, but her eyes calculate. She passes the bread, she pours the wine, but every glance feels like a line. I hold your hand beneath the table, hoping that I'm even able to prove that I'm more than where I'm from. But her silence says I've already won. She asks me questions like an interview. Where are your people from? What do they do? And I translate every word she says to mean you don't belong here, go away. It's the whispers from his mother in the kitchen late at night. It's the way she says, my son, my brother, like I'm stealing him from sight. It's the words she doesn't say that cut deeper than a knife. Whispers from his mother, telling him to choose a different life. I find her in the hallway standing still. She doesn't know I can hear the chill in her voice when she calls you to the side, while I pretend to be occupied. Son, I just want what's best for you. Is she really someone you can build a future through? Think of the children, think of the name, think of the family, think of the shame. And I know she thinks she's loving you, but love that divides was never true. She's building walls with her concern and watching our bridge slowly burn. It's the whispers from his mother in the kitchen late at night. It's the way she says, my son, my brother, like I'm stealing him from sight. It's the words she doesn't say that cut deeper than a knife. Whispers from his mother, telling him to choose a different life. I wonder if she knows my mother too. If she'd sit with her, share a cup of brew, would they find common ground in recipes and prayers? Or would they just be two women staring down the stairs? I wonder if she knows I have a mother too. Praise the God has found somebody true who stayed awake at nights, worried about the same. A mother's love wearing a different name. Last night I heard you on the phone. Your voice was quiet, standing alone. You said, Mom, I love her, can't you see? And she whispered something back that defeated me. Because this morning you looked away, found something on the floor to say. Held me a little less, stayed a little less long. And I felt something breaking that was once so strong. It's the whispers from his mother that became the voice in you. It's the way you chose another before we ever knew. If we could have been something, if we could have seen it through. Whispers from his mother were louder than I love you. Louder than I love you. Louder than my voice. Louder than our choice. Whispers. Whispers. favorite cafe, the one where we first said we'd stay. I'm talking about forever making plans, but you're drawing circles with your hands. I reach across the table, touch your skin. Something feels different, paper thin. You smile, but it doesn't reach your eyes. And I realize there's a window somewhere in your soul, and it's closing. I can feel it grow cold. You're here beside me, but you're miles away. And I don't know what to say. Disappearing from your face. I remember when you look at me like I was everything you'd ever need, like the world outside could disappear. Your phone at the ceiling, at the floor, at the unknown. Anywhere but here, anywhere but us. I'm losing you to dust. There's a war between your heart and theirs, and I can see you're climbing down the stairs. You're leaving me before you even go. And the worst part is you know your eyes look away when I say your name. I tried to follow where your eyes would go. Thought maybe I could find the undertow that's pulling you so far from me. That's drowning what we used to be. But all I found was emptiness and the shadow of their prejudices reflected in the way you turn every time the subject turns to us. goodbye. Goodbye. I used to be so beautiful when they looked at me. Now they look away. I counted all the nights I stayed awake, wondering what more I had to give. I measured every step I tried to take, just to fit inside the life you live. I learned your mother's favorite recipe. I dressed the way they'd approve. I swallowed every piece of me, just to earn the right to love you. But the goalposts keep moving farther away, and I'm running out of words to say. I've changed my hair, I've changed my voice, but they never gave me a choice. So tell me, am I not enough? Is my heart not made of the same stuff? Do my hands not hold you tight the same? Do I not whisper your name? Am I not enough? Am I not enough? I watched you stand there silent while they spoke, their words like arrows to my chest. You could have held me, could have been my smoke, but you just let them put me to the test. I've given you my everything, my dreams, my fears, my sacred scars, but they keep measuring, comparing, and you keep counting up their stars. You say you love me, but you love them more. You keep me standing outside their door, waiting for permission to come in, but the door is never opening. So tell me, am I not enough? Is my blood not the same when it bluffs? Do my prayers not rise to the same sky? Do I not laugh, not cry? Am I not enough? Am I not enough? I wonder if they'd ask these questions if my skin was more like yours, if my name was easier to pronounce, if my ancestors weren't wars. I wonder if you'd still be silent if your love was truly blind, or if you'd finally see me as the one you're meant to find. Last night I dreamed I was a different girl with a different history, and in that dream I was their world, and you were proud of me. Then I woke up to this silence, to this space between us in the bed, to the painful, honest violence of the words we left unsaid. So answer me, am I not enough? Have I not proven my love is tough? Do I need to shed my very skin to finally let your family in? Am I not enough? used to think I was enough before I met you. Before I met them. I reach for you across the bed. My fingers stop on something instead. Not skin, not warmth, not breath, but something colder, something like death. You're lying there just inches away, but I can't find the words to make you stay. There's something standing between us now, and I don't remember when or how. It's not a fight, it's not a lie, it's not a reason you can justify. It's just this thing I cannot touch, but it's taking you from me too much. There's an invisible wall between us. I can see you, but I can't reach through. There's an invisible wall between us, and it's made of everything they said to you. I press my hands against the glass, watch you fading, watch you pass into a world I can't belong. And the coolest part is we're both still singing the same song. We walk together down the street, but there's a distance in our feet. You hold my hand, but something's changed. Your touch feels rearranged, like you're touching me through a screen, like I'm a memory, not a dream, like I'm already someone you knew back before you chose their view. It's in the way you pause before you speak, it's in the secrets that you keep, it's in the places you won't go, the parts of me you used to know. There's an invisible wall between us. I can see you, but I can't reach through. There's an invisible wall between us, and it's made of everything they said to you. I press my hands against the glass, watch you fading, watch you pass into a world I can't belong. And the cruelest part is we're both still singing the same song. There's an invisible wall between us, and I'm tired of pressing through. There's an invisible wall between us, and I think it's always been part of you. I press my forehead to the cold, to the I reach for you. I reach for you across the bed. I reach for you across the bed. I reach for you. I put on the dress you bought me last year, the blue one you said made me shine. Fixed my hair just the way they like it, painted over every sign of who I am, of where I'm from, of every battle I've already won. Walk through that door with my best smile, hoping to stay a while. Your mother's kitchen smells like home, but I've never felt more alone. She hands me plates with perfect grace, but never meets my eyes. I'm having dinner with strangers who wear your face and speak your name. I'm having dinner with strangers and playing a losing game. They ask me questions like interviews, judge my answers, watch my moves, and you just sit there silent still, watching me try to fit the bill. Having dinner with strangers who'll never see me, never will. Your father asked about my father, what he does, where he's from. I tell him proudly, voice unbothered, but I see his smile go numb. He clears his throat, looks at his plate, as if my truth has made him wait for something better to arrive, something that would let me thrive. His sister laughs at something I say, but it sounds wrong in a different way, like she's laughing at not with me, and you still don't see. I'm having dinner with strangers who wear your face and speak your name. I'm having dinner with strangers and playing a losing game. They pass the bread, they pour the wine, they're perfectly polite and kind, but kindness isn't the same as love, and I'm not what they were thinking of. Having dinner with strangers, watching me from far I'd excuse myself to the bathroom just to breathe, just to be alone, looking to mirror at this woman who's trying so hard to belong. I whispered to my reflection, you don't have to prove a thing, but my heart won't listen to reason when it's still hope and love will bring. When I come back, I hear them talking in hushed tones about that girl. Your mother says she's nice, but and the rest becomes a blur. I hear my name mixed with your past, with questions that will never last, with doubts they've carried all their lives. mother clear the place. She smiled and said, "Don't be late." And I realized, in that simple line, I'll never be hers, I'll never be mine. In this room with these strangers, put on the dress you bought me last year. I put on the dress I put on the dress. I put on the dress you bought me last year. I put on the dress. I put on the dress. Ooh, I put on the dress. 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 I watch you argue with the air, defend my name when I'm not there. You come to me with tired eyes, saying you heard another lie about my people, about my worth, about the color of my birth. You swing your words like heavy swords against their whispered words. But baby, baby, can't you see you're fighting something that will always be? You're punching holes in smoke and mist, while I'm the one they truly dissed. You're fighting shadows, my love, shadows they've erased since you were young. You're fighting shadows with your hands, but shadows don't leave footprints in the sand. You swing and swing and swing and swing, but shadows don't feel anything. And while you fight what isn't there, I'm disappearing into air. Last night you told me I won't let them win. I'll tear down every wall they've pinned. I held your face, I kissed your brow, but something told me not here, not now, because their voices live inside your head. Long after all the words I said, they whisper in your sleep at night and turn our love into a fight. How do you fight? What do you can't name? How do you win a losing game? They're not a person, not a place. They're just a feel behind their fires. You're fighting shadows, my love, shadows they've erased since you were young. You're fighting shadows with your hands, but shadows don't leave footprints in the sand. You swing and swing and swing and swing, but shadows don't feel anything. And while you fight what isn't there, I'm disappearing into I know you mean it when you say you'll love me come what may. Love alone can't win this war. When the enemy's behind every door, when the enemy is in their blood, a poison just as only love. When every time you think you're free, they pull you back so quietly. Saw your mother yesterday. She smiled at me in her old way, but in her eyes I saw the fight that keeps you standing up at night. And I realized with heavy heart we're fighting wars that never start, because they're finished long before we ever walk through their front door. You're fighting shadows, my love, but I'm the one that's thinking of. You're fighting shadows with your might, but shadows don't need light to fight. They just exist, they just remain. They whisper in the wind and rain, and while you chase what you can't hold, my love for you is growing cold. Stop fighting shadows, just hold me. But you can't, can you? Because they're everywhere. Feel it in the way you hold my hand, like you're holding on to sinking sand. I see it in the way you say my name, like you're practicing for the day you won't say it again. You used to hold me like I was air, now you hold me like you don't dare to let yourself feel what you feel, like what we have isn't real. It's not a fight, it's not a scene. It's quieter than that, it's in between. The space between your heart and mine is growing longer all the time. You're letting go, I can feel it, not all at once, just bit by bit. You're letting go, and I can't steal it back from where your hands have quit. It's in the pauses, in the silences, in the spaces where your love used to live. You're letting go, and the evidence is everything you no longer give. You used to text me through the day just to say you loved me, just to say. Now I count the hours till you reply, and I know the reason why. You used to talk about our future, now you only talk about the weather. You used to hold me through the night, now you turn away from the light. It's not that you're unkind to me, it's that you're setting yourself free, one small step at a time, leaving me behind. You're letting go, I can feel it, not all at stay for a trip you didn't ask me to accompany. And I realized with the start, you're practicing a life apart. You're learning how to be without me before you've even told me that the end is drawing near. That's what hurts the most, my dear. Feel it in the way I feel it. I saw your name light up my screen at 10:15 on a Wednesday night. And somehow, somewhere in between the first ring and the second, I knew it wasn't right. You never call this late, you text. You said you had to talk, you said it next. And my heart already knew the words before I ever heard. Hi, you said. And your voice was strange, like you've been practicing a change. Like you'd rehearsed this in the mirror, trying to make it sound clearer. And then you said it, 3 words that weren't I love you, 3 words that tore my world in two. I can't do this just like that. No warning, no kiss, just the sound of everything we were, breaking in a single blur. The phone call that ended us. The phone call. The phone call. I held the phone so tight, my hand turned white, listening to you try to be polite. You said it's not you, it's them. Like that would somehow make it better. Then you said my family means everything. And I sat there listening to the silence where my name used to be, before they got to you and me. You talked about our differences, about their concerns and their resistance. Words that sounded borrowed, not your own. And I sat there alone. And then you said it, 3 words that weren't I love you, 3 words that proved they finally got to you. I can't do this just like that. No chance to fight, just the dial tone in the night. The phone call that ended us. The phone call. The phone call. I sat there holding the phone long after you were gone, listening to nothing, just like you left me. Nothing. every time I bit my tongue. Swallowed words when I was young. In their eyes, in your world, tried to be that perfect girl. I learned to cook your mother's dishes, put aside my own family's wishes, celebrated holidays I didn't know, just to have a place to go. I gave her pieces of my soul, tried to fit inside their mold, changed my hair, changed my voice, gave up everything by choice. And my sacrifice meant nothing, nothing at all. I bled myself empty against their wall. Watched me slowly die while I tried to live for a love that was never going to last, for a future built on shattered glass. My sacrifice meant nothing, nothing at all. I remember standing in the rain, waiting for you to explain why I wasn't at the family table, why I wasn't even able to be a name they'd say out loud, why I had to wear a shroud of shame for simply being me, of a different ancestry. I defended you to my own kin when they said this was a war I couldn't win. I told them love was strong enough, but love, it seems, is very tough. And my sacrifice meant nothing, nothing at all. I built my whole world around your call, and when I fell, you weren't there, just the cold empty air of a love that measured worth by birth, of a love that saw my skin as cursed. My sacrifice meant nothing, nothing at all. I should have kept those pieces of my soul. I should have let myself be whole, but I gave them to you one by one. And now I've got nothing, nothing. The bed feels bigger now without you. The sheets are cold, the night is long. I curl up tight, I don't know what to do, so I wrap myself in my own arms. I pretend they're yours, I close my eyes, I almost feel you holding me. But then I wake up and realize it's just my own fragility. No warmth but what my own skin gives, no shelter but the shape I make. This is how my body lives now that you decided to break. I'm wrapped in my own arms tonight, holding myself 'cause you won't hold me tight. Unwrapped in my own arms, trying to find a fraction of the peace you left behind. These hands that used to hold yours now hold me together, barely wrapped in my own sleep against your chest. Your heartbeat was my lullaby. Now I press my hand against my chest and pretend it's not a lie. I trace my own arm in the dark, remembering how yours would trace the outline of my heart, my spark, before I fell from grace. My own embrace is all I have since yours became that property. I hold myself both strong and sad and try to find some dignity. I'm wrapped in my own arms tonight, holding myself 'cause you won't hold me tight. I'm wrapped in my own arms, trying to find a fraction of the peace you left behind. Because it used to hold yours, now hold me together, barely wrapped in my own arms, learning to be alone slowly. I never knew arms could feel so empty when they're only holding me. I never knew that something so simple could hurt so bitterly. I wrap myself like a child who's lost her way back home. I whisper words I wish you'd say and cry until the moon. Last night I dreamed you came back and held me like before. I woke up reaching, but the track was cold and you were out the door. So I pulled my knees up to my chest and wrapped my arms around the only person left on this lonely ground. I'm wrapped in my own arms tonight, the only arms that won't let go. I'm wrapped in my own arms in the fight to keep standing, to not sink low. These arms that you once called home now hold the pieces you've left behind. Wrapped in my own arms, alone, but at least I'm not a wine bee. Wrapped in my own arms. It's not the same, but it's all I have, all I I wake up in the middle of the night, and for a moment you feel so near. I feel your fingers trailing soft and light down my shoulder, chasing fear. But when I turn to find you there, there's nothing but the empty air, just the imprint on the pillowcase and the memory of your face. My skin still tingles where you used to lay. Your phantom hands still find their way to places only you have known. Now I'm haunted and alone. lingers here, on my skin, on my lips, on every tear. I feel you in the shadows of this room, a presence that spells coming doom. The ghost of your touch won't let me be. It haunts every part of me. Long after you decided to leave, your ghost is all I perceive. Passenger seat of my car on empty drives. I feel your hand on mine, bittersweet, when no one is there but something thrives. I feel you in the kitchen by the stove, where we cooked meals and made our love. I feel you in every corner of my home, even though you're gone, you've never rolled. I close my eyes, your breath so close, your voice so clear. I reach out and you disappear, and the silence is all I hear. The ghost of your touch still lingers here, on my skin, on my lips, on every tear. I feel you in the shadows of this room, my presence expels coming doom. The ghost of your touch won't let me be. Decided to leave, your ghost is all I perceive. Is this what happens when love dies? Do we become these haunting sighs? Do we linger in the spaces we once filled with smiling faces? I want to exercise you out. I wanna scream, I wanna shout. Get out of my skin, out of my head. You're not living here, you're dead. But you're gone, you're stubborn still, even in ghost form. You have will to stay inside my every cell. Familiar pain for hell. I tried to wash you off in the shower, but your ghost is supernatural power. It clings to me like second skin, a reminder of where I've been. The ghost of your touch still haunts me, so everywhere I go, everywhere I know, in the coffee shop where we first kissed, in the places now filled with mist. The ghost of your touch is all that's left of a love that I thought was heaven sent. Now it's just a haunting, just a curse. The ghost of your touch, could it get worse? I feel you even now, even after everything. Your ghost still I wake up in the middle. I'm at a party full of people I know. Everyone's laughing, the wine continues to flow. Someone tells a joke, someone touches my arm, and I smile, pretending I'm charmed. But underneath the surface, something breaks. A memory of you, a tiny quick, and suddenly the room becomes a blur, and no one knows what's occurring. I excuse myself, say I need some air, but the truth is I need you, and you're not there. I lock myself in the bathroom stall and let the tears silently fall. I'm crying in a crowded room, and nobody knows, nobody sees my gloom. I'm falling apart behind this smile, standing still, running a mile away from the pain, away from the truth. Crying in a crowded room, with no one to hold me, no one to save, just me and the tears I give. I see a couple holding hands across the floor, and I'm right back at our favorite store where you bought me flowers and held the door, and I swore I'd never want for more. My friend asks, are you okay? You seem quiet. I say I'm fine, just on a diet, but the truth is I haven't eaten in days since you walked away in so many ways. The music's loud, but silence screams inside my head, inside my dreams. I'm surrounded by 100 souls, but I'm the only one who's called. I'm crying in a crowded room, and nobody knows, nobody sees my gloom. I'm falling apart behind this smile, standing still, running a mile away from the pain, away from the truth. Crying in a crowded room, with no one to hold me, no one to say, just me and the tears I gave. This is the loneliest feeling I know, to be surrounded but still have nowhere to go, to have 100 faces looking your way, but not a single one asking you to stay, to wear this mask of I'm doing great, while my heart is screaming it's too late, to be drowning in a sea of people's eyes and realize I'm the only one who cries. Someone just said your name by mistake, and my whole world begins to shake. I grip the table, try to stand, but I'm slipping into sinking sand. I see your face in every stranger's glance, I hear your voice in every song and dance. I'm surrounded by life, by light, by sound, but I'm the only one who's trying to I'm crying in a crowded room, lying to hide my impending doom. I'm perfect someone your mother introduced to you. She's got the right last name, the right pedigree, everything they always wanted for you, not me. I wonder if she laughs the way I laughed, if she's learned to love you half as much as I did, as much as I gave before I became the one they couldn't save. I hope she doesn't mind the silence when your family's in the room. I hope she's good at smiling through the whispers of their doom. I hope she fits your world perfectly. I hope she's everything they want to see. I hope she never has to change her name or feel the burning sting of shame. I hope she never has to prove that she's worthy of your love. I hope she fits your world, my love. I hope she fits, because I never could. Does she know your coffee order by heart? Does she know how you fall apart when no one's watching, when no one's there? Does she know how to repair the pieces of you that you hide so well? Or does she just fit the story they want to tell? Does she know the boy I used to know, or just the man they want to show? I hope she doesn't mind the holidays with all the questions and the stares. I hope she's better at the game than I was with all my prayers. I hope she fits your world perfectly. I hope she's everything they want to see. I hope she never has to change her name or feel the burning sting of shame. I hope she never has to prove that she's worthy of your love. I hope she fits your world, my love. I hope she fits, because I never could. But here's the thing they'll never know, the thing they'll never let us show, that love isn't about the fit, it's about the fight. The bread is about standing in the storm and keeping each other warm. It's about choosing every day to love in spite of what they say. I hope she never has to cry alone in a bathroom, at a party, on a phone, pretending everything is fine while her heart is crossing the line. I hope she never has to beg for a place at your table, for a leg to stand on, for a right to be just herself, completely free. I hope she fits your world perfectly. I hope she never feels what you did to 'cause I never could. Shame to carry anymore. That's yours. I spent so many years apologizing for the color of my skin, for my ancestors' sins. According to them, I kept realizing I was born already losing, already couldn't win. I tried to wash myself in their approval, bleached my soul to match their view. But every time I thought I'd found the solution, they'd find something new to put me through. But I'm done with shrinking, done with bending, done with pretending I'm less than I am. The story they tell is never ending, but I'm taking back the pen. My blood is not my sin, my origin is not my shame. The skin I'm in is not the state I'm in. I will not bear the blame for the color of my dawn, for the land my mothers walked upon. My blood is not my sin, and I'm done being sorry for where I began. They look at me and see a difference, like it's something to overcome. They speak of me with such resistance, like my existence knows. But I come from a line of survivors, of women who birthed in the dark, of men who kept their fires burning when the world tried to leave its mark. So forgive me if I start the whisper, forgive me if I finally speak. The narrative they've been scripting has made me feel weak for weeks, for years, for life, but no more. My blood is not my sin, my origin is not my shame. The skin I'm in is not just state I'm in. I will not bear the blame for the color of my dawn, for the land my mothers walked upon. My blood is not my sin, and I'm done being sorry for where I began. I used to dream of being someone else, of having a different history. I used to pray to God for help to make them see the real me. But now I see the problem wasn't me, it was the narrowness of their view. It was their inability to see a different doesn't mean untrue. So keep your judgments, keep your doors, keep your polite and conditional love. I'm done with trying to be yours when you won't accept the stars above that made me who I am today. A woman of substance, of depth, of fire. I'm done with trying to find a way to make you see my worth, my desire. My blood didn't cry for the first time in I don't know how long. I lay there staring at the sky and felt something that felt like strong. I looked around this empty room at all the memories scattered on the floor, photos, gifts, a half-used perfume, things I don't need anymore. So I got up, made some coffee, sat down on the living room floor, and started the painful, honest process of cleaning out the store. I'm picking up the pieces of my heart, one by one. I'm putting them back together. I'm picking up the pieces, it's an art, learning to love myself in any weather. Some pieces are too sharp to hold, some are covered in your name, but I'm picking up the pieces, growing bold and playing a different game. I found that sweater you used to wear, the one you said smelled just like me. I held it once, breathed in the air, then dropped it in the gone pile, finally free. I found the letters from your mother, the ones that always felt so cold. I read them once, then another, then watched them burn, brave and bold. It hurts to touch these fragments of a future that won't be, but every piece I handle brings me closer to being me. I'm picking up the pieces of my heart, one by one. I'm putting them back together. I'm picking up the pieces, it's an art, learning to love myself in any weather. Some pieces are too sharp to hold, some are covered in your name, but I'm picking up the pieces, growing bold and playing a different game. I found pieces I didn't know were missing, pieces of me from before you came, the dreams I'd stopped wishing, the fire I'd let them tame. I found the girl who loved to dance, who sang out loud without a care. I found her waiting for a chance to breathe again. Today I pack 2 things in boxes, take them shut with steady hands. No more crying, no more locks on the door to better lands. Tomorrow I'll call a friend to take them away from here, away from me. And in the space where they've been, I'll plant new seeds. I'll finally be free. I'm picking up the pieces of my heart, and this time I'm putting me first. I'm picking up the pieces, playing a spy card, no longer dying of flash, for love that always costs too much, for a fool who I'd never had. I'm picking up the pieces, learning to trust that I have so much to learn. The floor is clean now, the boxes are gone, and in the silence I hear my own song. My own song. morning I looked in the mirror and didn't see your reflection anymore. I saw a woman becoming clearer, standing on a different shore. My eyes were red from all the crying, but something in them looked new. Like after years of slowly dying, a little bit of life was breaking through. I thought about calling you just to tell you that I finally understand that losing you wasn't my failure, it was part of a bigger plan. So here it is, the last teardrop for you, the final drop of pain I'll ever cry. Here it is, the last teardrop is true. I'm finally telling you goodbye. Not with anger, not with hate, just with acceptance, just with faith. The last teardrop falls tonight, and then I'll step into the light. I remember how I used to measure my worth by the love you didn't give. I remember the endless pleasure I gave you just so I could live in your world, in your sight, in the shadows of your approval. But I'm done with that losing fight. I found my own removal. I'm removing me from your story. I'm taking back my path. I'm done with the purgatory. I wandering where and when. So here it is, the last teardrop for you, the final drop of pain I'll ever cry. Here it is, the last teardrop, it's true. I'm finally telling you goodbye. Not with anger, not with hate, just with acceptance, just with faith. The last teardrop falls tonight, and then I'll step into the light. Tonight I'll wash my face for the last time with tears that belong to you. Tomorrow I'll find a different kind, with a different point of view. I'll keep the lessons, lose the pain. I'll keep the love I gave and pour it on myself like rain on a heart you couldn't save. So here it is, the last teardrop for you. It's going on when it hits the cloud. I'll be done, I'll be through, I'll be lost and finally found. Not in you, not in them, not in their approval again, but in myself a diadem. A woman with no shame. The last teardrop, the last teardrop for you. I wipe my face, take a breath, and for the first time in forever, I'm not afraid of what comes next. morning I looked in the mirror. They said I wouldn't make it through the winter. They said I needed their sun to survive. They said my petals were too thin, too tender, that I needed them to feel alive. But they didn't know about my roots. They didn't know about the soil I came from. They didn't know about the absolute strength that grows when you become undone. I found water in the deepest darkness. I found light in my own soul. I found strength in my own heart's harness. I found a way to be whole. I'm a flower that grew in the dark, without their sunshine, without their spark. I pushed through the dirt, through the pain, through the hurt, and I bloomed in the silence. I found my own worth. I'm a flower that grew in the dark, and now I'm standing here, a walking work of art. No thanks to you, no thanks to them. I'm a flower that grew, and I'll bloom again. I remember when I needed your approval to believe that I was beautiful. I remember when their words were removal of every piece of me that was bountiful. But somewhere in the quiet of the night, when you had all gone away, I found my own internal life, and I decided to stay. I decided to stay alive. I decided to thrive, not because of what you gave, but despite it I was brave. I'm a flower that grew in the dark, without their sunshine, without their spark. I pushed through the dirt, through the pain, through the hurt, and I bloomed in the silence. I found my worth. I'm a flower that grew in the dark, and now I'm standing here, a walking work of art. No thanks to you, no thanks to them. I'm a flower that grew, and I'll bloom again. Look at me now, standing in the sun that I created on my own. Look at me now, I finally won the battle I fought alone. I used to think you broke me. I used to think I'd never heal, but breaking was the making of someone finally real. I think about that girl who cried and died, thrones and cars and only birds. I think about the part of her that died and all the tears she said. And I wanna tell her, look at us now, look at what we've become. We didn't need them anyhow. We're brighter than their sun. I'm a flower that grew in the dark. The most beautiful flowers grow in the dark. I pushed through the dirt, through the pain, through the hurt, and I bloomed in the silence. I found my own worth. I'm a flower that grew in the dark, and now I'm standing here, a walking work of art. Thank you to you, thank you to them for making me a flower that grew. forever.